It is a very serious subject, and like many members' debates, I expect this will be one where there is no disagreement between us in our views on this. Let me start by congratulating Fulton McGregor on giving us the opportunity to debate the important subject. It is a subject, of course, that is not confined to Scotland. It's not confined to these islands. It's an international problem. In the last month, UNICEF released figures that showed 2/3 of young people surveyed in more than 18 countries had been victims of bullying. Now, how do people come to be bullied? And it's issues over which they have no control, very largely. Sexual orientation, ethnicity, gender, physical appearance. And bullying, even if it doesn't involve touching the victim, is a form of violence. And we should treat it as seriously as we treat any violence whatsoever. It's also an attack on diversity. And diversity has a huge value. The greater the diversity in our communities, the greater the strength of our communities, the greater ability to respond to changing circumstances. But bullying, particularly for youngsters, is something that can endure well into adulthood and for the rest of people's lives. So it's not something to be treated trivially or to be ignored. It can lead to depression, academic failure, changes in behaviour in the people who themselves are bullied. Fear is what follows from bullying. Mental health will, of course, be affected by people who are bullied as well. And furthermore, it's behaviour that will be copied. If bullying is tolerated, others will see that it goes unpunished and will themselves be open to the potential that they themselves will become bullies. And in the modern electronic world, we have some particular concerns about the new ways in which people can be bullied through social media, through emails, through texting, and so on. And there are some particular things that are different about the new social media. First of all, adults don't understand social media in the way that youngsters do. So the moderating influence of an adult who might understand what is going on in a bully's mind is likely to be less clear-cut than it would be with the kind of physical bullying that we've been used to in the past. Similarly, it tends to be a solitary activity. So there will tend not to be someone sitting next to the keyboard, the person who's seeking to bully someone online. There isn't the moderating influence of someone looking over their shoulder who might just say, "Hey, Jimmy, that's just enough. Perhaps we should head off." It's also an activity which, being solitary as well, takes place in many cases late at night when there may have been drink taken. So there are all sorts of disinhibitions associated with a bully that are distinctly different and more threatening in the online world. Is there anything we can do about it? Well, yes. Perhaps the social media providers could help by monitoring what's actually going on in social media. We know the technology is there. Twitter, for example, has a regular banner of what's trending. In other words, they know what's going on Twitter. Perhaps it's time Twitter and other social media providers had a look at whether they can help detect and inhibit bullying through that medium. I congratulate the Stand Up to Bullying campaign on their actions. I hope that we too can be part of making an effort to promote a kind of more understanding society. I hope this debate makes its modest contribution to that. But we all have a duty to stand up to oppressive behaviour, because that's what bullying is. Presiding Officer.